What's up, gamers? Welcome to the series premiere of Healthy Gamer. Now, this is a series that we've created specifically for you, the gamer, just like myself, because let's face it, I don't want to be 6 feet under, so I can't play any games. I want to play as long as I want for as many years as I want, and the only way we're going to do that is by keeping healthy. Now, one of the beautiful things about this series compared to anything else is that we are not going to try to make you some Olympian. If you want to be an Olympian, you can, but we're not going to make you one. That's your choice. What we want to do is we want to help you live a healthier lifestyle in simple ways and identify whether it's physical or dietary ways to change your lifestyle so you can live longer, so you can play games longer. Now, we have a great co-host with us, Mr. Carlos. He is a holistic health coach. I'm going to let him introduce himself now. Carlos, please take it away and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, Mr. Dragon, thank you for inviting me. It's an honor to be here. Really appreciate it. As everybody knows, my name is Carlos Eskenazi. I'm a certified holistic health coach. I'm also a certified personal trainer and certified in nutrition. I'm also a passionate gamer since I can remember. So
that's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
And we would have invited someone that wasn't a gamer because we need someone that understands what it's like to sit in long 8-hour sessions, whether you're raiding or playing StarCraft or Call of Duty and throwing your controller at a screen. We need someone that understood what it was like to be a gamer. And that's why we've chosen Carlos, because I think Carlos brings that background where he understands where we come from and he understands the industry as well, not just the gaming industry, but the health industry. And so bringing those two together, I think it's a perfect mesh. Now, why am I here? Well, I'm the guinea pig. I'm the guy that Carlos is going to help rebuild and provide insights on. And you guys will be able to follow that throughout the timeline, whether on Instagram or on our live channel. You'll be able to see the progress as we make some of these small changes. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do is dedicate some of these changes to myself, unfortunately. But it's all for the better of proving out that these things work. And Carlos and I have had tons of conversations about how to live a healthier lifestyle. And that's one of the reasons why we came up with the idea to start this show. So, Carlos, before anything, because I know people are wondering, what the hell is a holistic health coach? So why don't you get us going with, they need to understand, I need to understand. I kind of have an idea, but I think you can put it better into words than I can.
So we get that question all the time, and simply a health coach is a certified professional, trained professional that goes through different training and is in charge of just guiding you through lifestyle changes. That's all it is. It's things about your nutrition, changes about the things that you do as far as physical activity, how do you manage your stress, and little things like that. Nothing else very manageable.
Now, before we keep going, I just want to remind everyone that as we speak about health, it is Movember, and Movember is the time to give for men's health. Now, most of us who try to take care of ourselves are unaware of the many tragic things that are happening to men in our, not only in our community, but around the world. Movember is a wonderful charity that fights against cancers that affect men and mental health issues that affect men. And every year in the November timeframe, they have a series of wonderful events scattered throughout the world to bring in donations to help fight cancers and mental illness. Here at the Game Dragon, we have created our own little Movember site. So if you feel the need to help any of these causes, you can scan the QR code that's presented here, or you could go to the link below and place your donations, anything from $5 to as much as you want, basically. It all helps. So please remember, it is November, which is Movember. So if you feel you can't donate something to the cause, that's fine. Help participate, run your own function, and have your own charity going. It's very easy. Just go to Movember.com. You can start your own squad. You can either go and do a walk, or you can grow some amazing facial hair like Carlos has. I can't do it, unfortunately, but that is one of the things you can do, and people can donate money to your fabulous stash or beard that you're growing. And so that is one of the many things that you can do there, or you can have your own party event, whatever you want. But please try to do something. Again, since this is Healthy Gamer, we are trying to make sure that not only we're keeping ourselves healthy, but we're helping others through charity and donation. All right, now that we've gotten that out the way, tons of stuff. We just found out what a holistic health coach is. So let's move on to the next thing, which is, why did you decide to become a holistic health coach? How did you
Well, I have to say, I'm always been, you know, kind of like know my past life. I started my retail career in the health industry. Always very interested, always involved in physical activities, working out. But I always realized that I only knew so much. And throughout the years, as I'm getting older, battling certain injuries and lower back pain, for instance, and a lot of health issues, I decided to pretty much just venture and learn and get better at the things that I was trying to help other people with in regards to my job. And apply them to myself. And they, like you said at the beginning, right, becoming that guinea pig for yourself. You won't be able to help everybody else if you're not doing the things that you actually preaching and doing. So I decided to become a health coach, embark in the adventure of becoming a personal trainer, trying to be better at what I'm doing, incorporating everything, became a certified nutritionist for the same reason. And just pretty much I practice everything as a whole, and just incorporate, body, mind, and soul for that same purpose, and just becoming a better human being and be pain-free.
Well, it's funny because I incorporate mind, body, and soul into all my gaming sessions. So maybe if I could use the same mentality for my health, then maybe we can move this along.
Yeah.
Next question, and this is the doozy, right? This is the why are we here? Why should health be an important consideration for gamers? Why should folks like me particularly worry about our health? Like, what are we doing that is so crazy that we should worry about our lifestyle?
So think about it. I mean, you already gave the answer at the beginning of the presentation. How good are you going to be as a gamer if you're not healthy? Right? How good are you going to be as a gamer if your eyes are all messed up because you've been playing for hours and hours and not getting any rest? How good are you going to be? Think in terms of, and I know this question is going to come up as to what are some of my, the type of games that I like, right? And think in terms of a role-playing game where you can get the time to build a character. And you have to develop certain skills, certain metrics in that character. But part of them are going to be strength. How strong they are. How much life do you have to continue? Playing against the boss. All those different characters. So you're doing that in life. We need sleep to recover. We need to be able to manage our stress. We need to eat healthy food, right? Good food in order to sustain ourselves. And these are three basic principles that are not only applied to even video games, but they get applied into real life. So to answer your question, I mean, how good are you going to be if you're not taking care of yourself when you're going to sit down for like an 8-hour session, like you mentioned, which is kind of like exaggerated, but I've done them before. That's the reason why.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a little game, right? And this is based off of my diet. And I'm going to throw up a couple of pictures on the screen. And I want you to tell me how healthy or how unhealthy is this selection that I'm putting up. And be brutally honest, right? That's what this is about. I need you to tell me what I'm doing wrong and how bad this is for me and everyone out there. All right. So first, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with, I want to say, one of my more favorite dinners that happen to hit the table when I'm doing some heavy duty gaming, right? When I'm in a long session playing Call of Duty or role playing games, things like that. When I know I'm going to be sitting for a while and I don't want to, have a fork and a knife and a fancy glass of wine or anything like that. Boom. Here it is. McDonald's. I got my
Oh.
nuggets. I got my fries. Notice I have two different burgers. I got a quarter pounder of cheese there, a Big Mac. You name it. There's some wedges on the side there. This is a smorgasbord of sometimes what my typical gaming session meal looks like. How bad is this?
That's like a heart attack away.
Now,
not good at all. Not good at all. That's for sure.
So you're gonna have to help me here. What's so bad about this right here? Because let's say I order.
The amount of
let's break down. Let's break down. Like sometimes I don't eat all day, right? So, I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I'm gonna have one big meal, I might as well have this big meal that I enjoy. And so it'll be this. It'll be the crazy McDonald's meal, maybe a couple of burgers, the large fries, maybe the nuggets on the side, and of course a nice large fountain soda. So break it down for me.
Just very simply, there's no nutrients on the stuff that you're eating. You're just eating empty calories. That's all it is. It's the amount of processed food, saturated fats are just not good at all for you. Definitely not good. Definitely not good. Yeah.
Okay, so what could I replace this with? Now, remember, I said I am not a chef by any form. I'm a busy guy. For those of you guys, I'm not living in my mom's basement. This is something I do as a passion and a love for you guys, to share. But I have a day job. I have a family. My biggest role playing game is playing daddy. Right? I got 3 kids. I got a spouse and I got work. So, tell me, what could I do easily to shift a little bit of this?
So if I were to pick up food from McDonald's, which, sometimes you have to because you're on the go, the kids may want to have a meal. I'll probably get the grilled chicken sandwich. That would be one choice. I'll probably have a few of the fries, but not all of them. And definitely skip the soda, that's for sure. I'll probably just stick to water. If I could have a grilled chicken salad, I would probably do that as well. There's so many options out there, and let me be. I'm completely okay having a hamburger or cheeseburger, whatever the case. As a matter of fact, I had one today when I went to the mall with my kids. But when you make that an exception and not the rule, of course you can have it. Of course you can have it, but not as a daily meal. Yeah.
So if I'm going to make, I love what you said. Like you didn't immediately say no. You have to go grill a piece of chicken and get some broccoli on the table, which I'm not a fan of. You still said I could go to McDonald's. I just have to choose something that is not leading towards a scale of trying to kill me, right? Yeah. So the grilled chicken is not that bad an option, right?
It's not. I mean, at least compared to the other ones, the amount of calories. I mean, it's all about choices. I mean, we choose what to put in on the table. So,
and is this a place where, because I hear it all the time, I think most people do, right? Portion control. Like you mentioned having some of the fries. This is where making the choice between the large fries and the small fries it makes a big difference.
It does.
It
right?
does. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And then now I'm gonna ask, like, Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, is that okay? Or is that still really, really bad?
So if people under the false understanding that just because you consume something that is diet or sugar-free, it still contains sugar because it has a sugar substitute, whether that's sucralose or Splenda, whatever the case may be. They're still gonna have sugar. So I prefer if you need the sparkling sensation of what soda provides to you, similar to what energy drinks do. Hey, get some mineral water. Like a sparkling water. There's so many out there right now nowadays that are actually flavored. Those are excellent choices for you to replace sodas. So.
Okay. So you brought up a really important part here, which was you said energy drinks, right? And oh man, I don't want to get sued, so that's why I have this generic image of energy drink. But we all know the drinks: Monster, Red Bull. There's like a million other flavors and styles of energy drinks that are out there. sometimes I think there's more selection of energy drinks than there is of anything else in the supermarket when you go by there. So
There is. There is.
I'm a big Red Bull consumer. It's the classic. I know I'm a boomer, but I have these Red Bulls, or I have versions of Red Bulls, these energy drinks, when I have these long extended gaming sessions, because like I said, I do have a life outside of just being able to sit in front of with a computer or my consoles and play. Like, I have to be able to wake up in the morning. I'm up at 6 a.m., sometimes earlier, to start my day. And I'll be honest with you, those gaming sessions can, burn through the night a little bit. And I feel like I need that extra pickup, whether in the evening while I'm gaming or in the morning while I'm trying to recuperate from a night worth of gaming. So how bad are these?
Definitely not good. And I'm not going to be the two-faced about the whole point on energy drinks. I drink them every now and then. Even before I work out, I consume pre-workouts, which are pretty much loaded with caffeine. As of late, I've been trying to stay away from them because I understand the whole point of caffeine taking over your body, and just it doesn't go backwards. It just goes forward, and one is not going to be enough. Eventually, you're going to see yourself taking, 2, or maybe eventually 3. And if you understand how caffeine actually affects your adrenal glands, that's definitely on the long term. It can shut down your system, your nervous system. That is, and you're just gonna have so much trouble, having to survive on caffeine all day and have very bad sleep, fatigue all day. It's very counterproductive as to what is the actual effects of it.
So it's really not worth it then. That
I would say if you have to drink them, same like the food, right? Just try to control yourself. Keep it probably one the most if you can. Mm-hmm. If you can go back to coffee, perhaps go ahead and drink coffee. Okay. It's definitely not loaded with all the amount of artificial stuff that they put in those energy drinks to make you think that your brain is going crazy.
All right, I like that. See, those are sound options. All right, last picture. This is one of my favorites. You see my fingers twitching already because they saw the image and it's already like built-in behavior. It's already reaching for it. Like I'm like slapping my hands. Like,
you're salivating, huh?
Here goes. Potato chips. No matter what flavor, no matter what brand, this is like part of the gamer arsenal, right? Because it's so easy to just keep at side of desk or side of bed or wherever you game at. You can have chips. Now I think I know the answer to this, but I'm gonna let you tell me how bad this is for me. All of us.
Chips are good. Chips are tasty. They're crunchy. They're salty, but definitely not good for you. The amount of sodium that you get out of them. Not good for your health, not good for high blood pressure. They make you retain water. Guess what? Once you put one in your mouth, you're going to continue eating and there's no stop to it. My suggestion as far as a replacement to chips, whenever I'm craving that I need to munch on something like a snack, I'm definitely going to go with dried fruits, perhaps, if I have them. But nuts are going to be the my top choice. Almonds, walnuts, pecans, Brazilian nuts. Those are super healthy, full of essential fatty acids, which are essential for your brain function, especially for gaming sessions. They fill you up. Amazing, great overall for health. So I would say nuts and dried fruits will be my top choice as a snack food.
Okay. Now, true or false? Because I've heard this, and I think some of us have, some of us haven't. When you're consuming cashews, almonds, things like that, I've heard they can also have a lot of calories attached to them if you're kind of just deep diving into an endless pit of them. So like you shouldn't. What I've heard, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is like you shouldn't have that big container of cashews. You should probably like portion them out. somehow, some way.
So it is the same conversation that we continue. We just hit 3 different topics, and it's going to come down always to moderation and portion size.
Okay.
But you're right. It's fats are typically very calorie dense, but those are good calories. Typically, most people in the American diet, we consume a large amount of carbohydrates, sugars, versus the amount of good, healthy fats that we're supposed to consume.
Okay. All right. So I guess, and this kind of brings it all together, right? The question, which was, let's start with diet. What are simple changes as a gamer I can make to better my health from an eating perspective, right? Like you saw what my, I guess, a typical weekend evening looks like. What can I do? Let's say I'm starting tomorrow, right? And I want to be healthier, not just as a gamer, but as like your typical person. Like, what are the simple changes I can make to my diet?
So you got to.
I know we touched a little bit on it, but
sure. So the main idea behind the whole concept, there's so many diets out there that you could go crazy and try them for a couple months, go frustrated, starve yourself. And the main idea of, at least from my perspective, my philosophy is that stay away from processed food as much as you can. If you can eat in food the way it's intended, for our bodies to absorb, fruits, vegetables, meats, chicken, poultry, the way the earth is supposed to provide it for us. That's what our bodies are supposed to, consume, and we get macronutrients out of that. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong eating a cheeseburger, like I mentioned before, but they should be the exception, not necessarily the rule. So, for me, in my idea of good, healthy eating is a good plate of food is going to have either fish or chicken, right? A good amount of them, 8 to 12 ounces, depending on how much protein you need to consume. On the side, I'm going to have a sweet potato. I'm going to have broccoli. I know you don't like it. Or I'm going to have maybe a potato as a last resort. I know it's very starchy, but I'm going to have live food. I'm going to try to stay away from processed food. And just to help you keep things into perspective, I know in most supermarkets, they kind of like laid out the same exact way. If you go to a supermarket and you start shopping around the perimeter of the market, you will see the poultry or the fish or the chicken or the meats. Pretty much everything is up against the wall. The fruits, the veggies, everything that's around. The only thing that you see in the middle of the supermarket are the aisles. Those are the sections you should stay away from when it comes to shopping, because eventually if you start shopping for processed food and you have it in the house, what's going to happen? You're going to eat it. So
no, that's sound advice. In fact, okay, another question I'm gonna throw out here, just a random one, because I was thinking about this. So let's say I'm ordering Chinese food, right? And there's lots of great choices around where I am. If I'm following a little bit of your advice, right? Instead of ordering, I don't know, the General Tso's chicken, with all the extra sauces and everything, ordering the chicken and broccoli with brown rice, is that a better option?
I would absolutely. I would say it is. It is a sound option, and the one thing you want to do also is just be very careful of how much you're eating that day, and that's it. And Chinese food for me is great. It's tasty. We have it every time I pretty much have an off day. I enjoy it. I enjoy, junk food every now and then. But again, it's the exception, not the rule. You could live a life just like that because it doesn't have the level of impact in your body as if you were to eat it every single day. So.
And then I'm trying here because I'm your guinea pig. And guys, I would admit we had a pre-conversation a little bit before this about some of these changes. So instead of my sugary cereal, my Captain Crunch, right? If I replace that with some instant oatmeal, whatever flavor, doesn't matter, right? It's a huge difference or not.
It will be an upgrade, yes. If you can move it up a notch and say go for scrambled eggs with olive oil instead, or go for boiled eggs instead, go for that. Oatmeal, it's going to be fully loaded with carbs. There's hardly any protein in it. So that would be my side companion on a high carb morning, but definitely an upgrade compared to your cereals, that's for sure.
Okay. And then we talked about moving away from my energy drinks to coffee. What about green teas?
Oh, amazing. Great choice. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Just be careful of the sweeteners, that's all.
And I've seen it. You're right, because I have seen the unsweetened, and then there's the sweetened, which I generally tend to go for more. But it is a huge difference. I have noticed. I'm trying. I've been reading, and I think the one thing that we didn't mention that you and I have talked about was, if you want a reality check, flip the label to the nutrition facts and look at how much sugar and calories you're consuming. Hopefully that will jar you, because it did the other day. You and I had spoken, and I had flipped over. I'm a soda guy. I love sodas. I flipped it over, and I think it was double the sugar for the entire day that was in there in that one like little bottle of soda. And I was like, oh my god, this is crazy.
It is insane.
And I didn't want to drink it anymore. I actually chose to drink a seltzer instead.
Yeah.
And that, like, guys, for you guys out there that are looking for options, like, those flavored seltzers are like 0 calories. They have natural flavors. If you want the carbonation, I guess, that's my cheat. That's becoming my cheat now for the soda.
I challenge anyone on your audience to do that, for at least a week and notice a difference. Give yourself the chance to try it. And let the results speak for themselves. It's a big change. It's a big difference once you take that away from your body. Your body will thank you. Yeah.
Challenge accepted. Starting this week, I'm going to cut out the soda completely, and I'm only going to have seltzers, water, and green tea.
Nice.
Is that? I don't know. I don't know if I'll survive, guys. I don't know if I'll survive.
Certainly a week. I would have put you in a 12-week challenge, but we'll talk about that later, I guess.
Well, one step at a time, sir. One step at a time. But I think the next thing, and this I know from doing just personal coaching. I'm not the fitness coaching. I do the other type of coaching. I'm the mind coach. I guess one of the things that you have to think about when you do this is, just because you fall back and you fail, right? It doesn't mean you haven't gained any trend. Like, you have to focus on what the long game is. It's okay. Like, if you have that, you mess up and you have that Red Bull, or you have that soda, or whatever. The point is, the next thing, focus on what's in front of you, focus on moving forward, and that next drink, that next meal, make it the better one, right? Keep thinking that way, because it happens. You're gonna make a mistake, or you're gonna be in a situation where you can't get healthy food, right? And I think what you don't want to do is, you don't want to beat yourself up to the point that I've messed up. I had this McDonald's meal, the diet's over. I've heard lots of folks, this is what happens, right? They have that one mistake or two, and they give up, right? Because they're like, it's too hard. I already messed up. So one of the things I would advise is, from keeping yourself mentally checked, right? And understanding that this is a process that's going to take time. That if you want to change your lifestyle, it's not something that is going to happen overnight. It's something that you're going to have to commit to. And, you can either have small wins, or you can focus on doing the long haul. But, it's one of those things where, be mentally prepared for the fact that you're not perfect. And that's okay, right? As long as you're committed to doing this thing, and you get right back on that horse when you fall. So I'm not going to beat myself up, Carlos, next week if I screw up and I have, a coach. Now, my goal is to not do it. But, if I do mess up, I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I'm going to focus on that next drink being a glass of water, or being a seltzer, or being, some green tea. Right.
And if I may add something to that, we talked about lifestyle changes at the beginning of the this session. Everybody knows that it takes about 21 days to build a habit. it takes 90 days to change a lifestyle. So, like you said, it's don't beat yourself up to it. Just move on. You had it, and think about the next best meal, best drink that you're gonna have. That's all.
All right. So now that we've gotten a little bit of a backdrop on how to get ourselves started from a food perspective, right? And I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit because I think this is another important thing to consider as gamers. And I know this just because of my regular work. Gaming is very sedentary, right? And so gaming is one of these activities. I love it, but I can spend hours in front of a chair or a desk, and I know it's not the best for my body, and there's a lot of reasons. But I'm gonna blame you, Carlos, because you're gonna give us the bad news. What are some of the things that can affect us as real gamers, right? Physically, like forgetting diet. Let's say I got my diet straight. There's a lot of other things I need to worry about too, right? And let's talk about that. Help me understand, how I can still be a gamer, right? But there's things I need to look out for, so I can remain healthy as well.
So are we talking about the negative effects of long hours of gaming? Is that what we're talking about?
We can start with that. We can also start just in general things like posture, right? So just however you want to begin, sir. Like you are the holistic coach. I'm going to listen to you. You tell me what's happening.
I would say from my personal experience, and I have a 20-year-old who's also grew up to be an experienced gamer, and I have another 7-year-old who's addicted to a tablet. So not only you touch on posture, that's for very long sustained hours of gaming without proper stretching or movement, it's definitely not very good for your body and your muscles, right? Your spinal cord and pretty much the way your body is going to react to being exposed to those long hours of gaming. Number two, I would say eye strain is probably the second biggest issue of long hours of long sessions of gaming, right? Being exposed to the light of the TV, you get tired. Take breaks. Number three, I want to say carpal tunnel syndrome or trigger fingers is another big issue that affects a lot of gamers, right? So possible solution for any of these is take breaks. I know for me, anytime I'm playing, let's say an RPG, and those tend to be my favorite types of games where you can spend hours, building a character, completing missions, doing adventures. Whenever I get to a point of the game that I know I'm physically getting exhausted, or I've been just doing it for probably more than an hour or two, the next saving point, I'm gonna go ahead and stop it, save my game and take a break, go and take a walk or stretch, give myself a break from that long session and come back to it whenever you come back with a fresh mind.
Makes complete sense. And I'm glad you brought up the carpal tunnel because, one of the things that I forget the exact term, but it's like repetitive action-induced syndrome or something like that, where doing the same thing over and over again, you start to inflame in between your joints, and they can become arthritic over time. You can have all types of other conditions. Tennis elbow, right? It's referred to as tennis elbow, but it's the same idea that it will happen to gamers because of the constant clicking on the mice or the controllers. And it's funny. Like I see these things right here. I don't know if you guys see them.
I thought that was a donut.
No, it's not a donut to eat, but it's for this, right? And so I actually had to go to a doctor because I was having this, and it's because of work and gaming. And I was having these really bad pains, stemming all the way from my elbow up here. And so I had to get a little brace and everything. And one of the things that...
Sorry to cut you off. Is that because you were on the years you were showing up for playing Street Fighter with one hand?
Well, if I played with the one hand, I wouldn't have to worry about this. But it's actually affecting two. This is more of the Call of Duty, I think, and the
Oh
Diablo
yeah.
and all that. But it. So I can give you this recommendation. Like, these are really cheap. You can pick them up on Amazon. Um, After I recovered from my injury, and this is the thing, right? You guys might be at home laughing and saying, "Oh, why do I care about that?" Yeah, until you get the injury, and then you can't play for like weeks
Exactly.
because you're out of commission, and so then you have to recover and not do the thing you love most. And one of the things that I learned out of this was, taking one of these donuts. You can order them on Amazon, like $10. I fling them around here. My kid comes and steals them every once in a while, and you kind of just do this to build strength in your arm, in your forearms and your tendons, and also make sure that you're taking the breaks from the keyboard and the mouse and the controller when you start feeling that pressure.
And
Because
that
it is a
helps
pressure
with
that you feel.
it helps with stress too.
Yes. Well, if I throw it at somebody, it helps a lot. But I've heard that carries an assault penalty nowadays, so I don't throw them at people. But you're absolutely right. It is something. There's something about. I don't know if you've seen those fidget spinners that they were
Yep,
a big
yep,
thing
yep.
before. I still have a couple because I find it soothing just to kind of flick them around, and the sound and just the action of doing that. So what I'll say is, whatever it takes to pull you away from the controller for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, is going to help a lot. It's better than just going the full 3 hours, 4 hours, and you're hurting yourself, because it is like a sport, right? You're repeating these same actions over and over again. Your body's not supposed to do this. Like, this is how we get injuries. This is how we get arthritis in the future, and all types of wonderful ailments. The other thing is, you brought up a good point, and I want to get your advice on this. Is, now I've heard this to be true, because we're in front of tablets and phones all the time. So for my mobile gamers out there, right, this whole thing of keeping your head down is adding excessive weight to your neck and your spine. And so it starts to cause problems over time. So you need to get into the habit of reminding yourself that for I forget how many minutes you're like this, you need to do the opposite and pick your head up and do a rotation, maybe
Stretch.
360 degrees, a stretch, because that can cause all types of problems too. And as you get older, like, you're gonna hurt your neck. You're gonna wake up one day with a stiff neck, and you're gonna be out of commission again 3-4 days, not being able to do the things that you love. So those are just simple little things. Investing in a nice chair, right? Not the cool game chair with all the colors. Make sure you're getting that lumbar support. Like, the most important thing to read in there is make sure it has proper support, right? So the Titan chairs that are out there, a lot of the chair manufacturers, if you're going to spend on a chair, buy a decent chair that's going to support your back, right? This is an investment. If you're going to sit in it for hours and hours of time, you want to make sure that it's a good chair that can support your body properly. And a good chair doesn't cost $69 at Staples. Just, let's be honest. If you can afford one of the higher end chairs, and when I say higher end, I'm not saying thousands of dollars. You don't need to get a Herman Miller. You spend a couple $100. It's a huge difference between what you're going to get for that $69 versus what you're going to get for those $200. Buy the pillow if you can't afford it. Get a lumbar pillow to put behind your back. You got to protect your back and your neck now, as you're young, right? Because believe me, you'll pay the price later on. I mean, Carlos, you're in better shape than I am, but I'll tell you right now, I have terrible lower back problems. And it's from bad posture and sitting a certain way over years of time, and the lean forward gaming, right? Instead of kind of sitting upright. And so there's just all types of things. So I want to kick it to you for, what are some small physical exercises that I could do as a gamer, right? I'm not talking about becoming the Olympian, right? I'm not talking about hitting the gym. I'm talking about, I'm at home, I'm sitting down for a few hours, like any simple stretches, any simple exercises that I could do just to alleviate some of the strain that I'm putting on my body.
All right. So for those of you that do not know, I live in Orlando, Florida. So weather permitting, it's not the same conversation as to where you're at in New York City. But the very first thing that I would recommend to everyone would be this: the moment you want to take a break and you can take a break, get up, get out of that door, and go and take a walk. Get some fresh air, get some vitamin D from the sun. Take a walk. Take a walk. That's probably gonna be your best friend before you decide to do any type of exercise. If you like running, you like jogging, hey, be my guest. If you can incorporate small types of exercise, do some push-ups, abs in the house, anything that can actually help your body release that stiffness of being in the same position for so long, do it. If you want to do yoga, any type of stretching exercise, there's so much information nowadays on the internet. Any type of movement is movement. So whatever you decide to do, whatever floats your boat, go for it. As long as you move and take that break from that the game controller, that's all.
Now it's funny, if you are already a follower of Carlos on his Instagram, c.e.holistic health coach, he puts up a bunch of great images all the time that are really quick, simple little health tips. I want to say for the average person. Like every time I look at it, I always learn something, and sometimes there are just things up there that will make you laugh, still related to health, but it follow him, because I think at the very least by following his Instagram, you'll be able to pick up pointers here and there, and there's a collection, right? Because it's Instagram, so it's not going anywhere. You can kind of go through, save some of those images, and you can have a starting point, right? See some of the things that relate to you and kind of save them and like them and add your comments if they're working, if they're not working. I'm pretty sure that Carlos will appreciate that, because one of the things that I think he is amazing at is being there for people and answering people when they have that call for help. He's not showing up in your house for free, guys. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. But if you post something, in response to something he's put up, I'm pretty sure that he will take the time to respond to it and give you some advice. Not trying to put you on the hook, sir. I just
no.
Based on what I've seen.
And just a small disclaimer. A lot of the posts that we have on that page, on the Holistic Health Coach page, I try to remove the comments because of spam. So anybody that has any questions, send them directly to my direct. I'll be more than happy to answer any concerns, any questions that you may have. The information is free. I'm more than happy to share it. So
you're not saying that they're trolls in the internet, are you, Carlos?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's a whole other health concern that we'll talk about at a later date. So, I think that we have a good start here, right? So let's kind of circle back to some of the things that we've spoken about. From a dietary perspective, we mentioned, hey, you don't need to quit McDonald's. You can make sound choices while you're at McDonald's, right? It's about portion control. It's about selecting the healthier option. If you're not going to select the healthier option, then earmark that, like, hey, this is my cheat day, or I'm going to eat something healthier later, or maybe not eat something and have, like just a drink, whatever. And that drink, if I'm going to have those drinks, let's focus on a little more water, seltzers, green teas, things like that, because those are better for you. If you're going to need the energy boost from caffeine, get it from like your coffee instead of your energy drinks, because those things are also loaded with sugars and preservatives and all types of other nasty things that will hurt your body over time. Where, caffeine is not great for you, but if you're going to go that route anyway, right, choose the better option, choose something that's more natural. And then I guess finally, when we come back to our physical health, and sitting at that desk, sitting in front of the PC, sitting in front of the Xbox Series X or the PS5s if you're lucky enough to get them, take those breaks. Every hour, maybe set an alarm and say to yourself, hey, it's been an hour, let me stand up, let me do a quick stretch, move my neck around. If you're going to have a lot of gaming throughout the day, maybe set that hour to go take that walk, get those 10,000 steps in. We make fun of it, but the reality is that that movement is better than no movement, right? So if you're not the person that wants to go to the gym, get on a bike or run or do all these things, walking for an hour will at least keep your body in motion and keep you in a state where you're not completely sedentary and falling apart. And you don't want to fall apart at our age. Trust me, that's a terrible thing.
Do you say our age?
I have to say, all right, well, you're ancient compared to me. You just don't look it. But no, the reality is, folks, that you got to take care of yourself, right? If something hurts, that's a sign. Stop playing immediately. Finish the session if you have to. I know online gaming, I know what happens. You're in the middle of a match, something's happening. Okay, finish that session and go give yourself a break. Because if you're feeling pain, that's your body telling you, like, you need to stop. Yep. Once you feel that soreness, that pressure in your neck, and we all know what I'm talking about, where you're getting that slight headache, your vision's getting a little blurred, things like that. That doesn't mean press on. That means I need to stop, and there are plenty of terrible stories that we hear in the news nowadays of professional, esports gamers having to either retire because of injuries that they're sustaining because they are practicing every day, 12 hours a day, not moving, not doing anything, or just overall not taking care of themselves. I think we've even had a couple of deaths in the esports, area for very young guys, very young, and so you may think that this is something you need to worry about only when you're older, but no, like this affects all of us, right? And we just want a game. That's it. So do the right thing now. Take care of yourself so you can game for the next 40, 50 years. And that actually leads me to probably some of the final points, which is, there's a lot of games out there, I think nowadays, that are promoting somewhat of a healthier lifestyle. So there's fitness games that are out there, for your Wii, your Wii U, your Switch, right? Like I just saw a boxing game that was out recently, which I thought was really cool. So there are options there. If you don't want to be the typical, I go to the gym and, everybody stares at me, play at home. Some of these games are really great. And there's tons of stuff on Oculus and VR that are, really cool too. So anything that gets you up out of that chair and gets you moving around, and the same way people have standing desks, right? Hey, maybe if you're gonna game, stand up every 45 minutes, right? And move around a little bit between those sessions of Call of Duty, and I'm not talking about going to grab the bag of chips. I'm talking about moving around, doing a couple of stretches, a couple of arm circles, rotating your head 360, like just, stretching yourself out, moving around a little bit and standing up. It's crazy how the body reacts to, and there's tons of research on it. I'm not bullshitting anybody. If you look at the research, there's such a huge difference in our bodies when we're standing versus when we're sitting. And so if you can invest in that standing desk while you're gaming, and they're pretty cheap nowadays, you can get really nice ones, and it doesn't have to be for work. Like, think about it. If you're sitting in front of a PC and gaming, well, you can use that standing desk and bring it up, get one of those little balance boards and stand on it while you're gaming. Like, there's a lot of things you can do that people are using for their work lifestyle that you can use for your gaming lifestyle and have the same effects, right? Anyway, so Carlos doesn't get away without answering these questions because, we always care about this. Carlos, I said that you were a gamer, right? So I need people to know that we're not lying, that you're not just, an op coming in and acting like a gamer. Tell us, what are some of your favorite games? What are some of your favorite franchises? What are you gaming now when you get time? So I'm pretty sure we'd love to hear.
So I'm going to start with the latest game I'm playing, that I played. Believe it or not, I love Cyberpunk. I think it's an amazing game. Besides all the glitches that it had when it first came out, the huge anticipation of the same. Before that, one of the franchises, and there's so many, we were having that conversation, and you told me not to go crazy. I want to say, if I've got to pick one, I have to pick one. It's going to be the Elder Scrolls series, with Skyrim being probably the best game I ever played. I put so many hours into that game. I would say, but that's gonna be the best game I ever played.
Well, those are some good games. Those are some long games. So I
Yeah,
know when
those are the type
you,
of games I like.
yeah. So I know when you mentioned that you have been sitting in front of a desk or a chair or a sofa for a while, because to get through the Elder Scrolls series, and it's funny because I think Skyrim is still considered one of the best RPGs of all time. People still play it, go back to it over and over again, because it's just so epic and so amazing. And
It is amazing, yeah.
And I'm right there with you on Cyberpunk. I'm from a slightly different era, right? And so, I played Cyberpunk on the Xbox Series X, and it was fine. I mean, there were glitches here and there. I think that there was a snowball effect with that, and it kind of captured it. And I would talk to people that would say Cyberpunk is awful, and I'd say, well, did you play it? No, but I heard on the news, or I heard in social media.
Yeah.
So
Got
we
a
know
lot of
how it
bad
is.
rap,
And
yeah.
I want to remind people, Witcher was in the same state
Oh,
when it first
that's
came
another
out.
great game. Yeah, that's another great game.
And now people have forgotten, right? The Witcher is right up there with, I think, Skyrim as one of the greatest games of all time, right? Not the original Witcher. I'm talking about 3. And so it's definitely up there. But I think we've covered the fact that you are an official gamer. And ladies and gentlemen, what you don't know is that he made a joke about Street Fighter, but he's actually seen me play Street Fighter. It is a real thing. So, and I did play sometimes with one hand, which is crazy. That's just a psychological thing. So any of the new fighters out there that want to ask about that, I'm more than happy to answer those questions. It is an awesome psychological trick. It really messes with your opponent's head, and it'll take some pressure off of your other hand if you can only use one. So there you go. So there's a help tip. When in doubt, switch to one hand.
What a show!
No, not anymore. I tried to go online not too long ago and play one of the newest Street Fighters, and I got destroyed. It was quite sad. Man. So that legacy is gone, I think.
It's showing your age. That's all.
It is. See, I didn't take care of myself. Well, again, guys, please follow Carlos on his Instagram. I've put it below. Amazing stuff there. A lot of things coming up. I am pushing Carlos. Hopefully, he'll have his own YouTube at some point, and provide all types of insights for all of you. So stay tuned, because I think that's a project that will eventually happen. But I am very happy to have him here with us. We're going to do as many segments of Healthy Gamer as possible, as time permits, right? And we're going to talk about all types of things, whether it's going to be diet, exercises, and again, real things for real people, for real gamers specifically, right? Things that we can do to improve our lifestyle. Like I said, I'm starting my commitment. He will keep me honest and say whether I've kept my commitment. And so follow along and you'll find out whether that is fact or fiction. And by the next episode, hopefully we'll have some more stuff for you guys. But outside of that, it's a pleasure. Guys, everybody remember, please check Movember charity out again. I'm gonna pop it up real quick one last time, just so you can do a quick scan on that QR code or save the link, whatever you think you need to do. But again, please try to donate, try to help. It's an important cause. It's something that's close to my heart. I do it every year. The people there are great, and the return on investment for what they do is tremendous. So please give them your help. All right, with that being said, thank you, everybody. This is the official first end of Healthy Gamer. I hope you all enjoyed it. We hope to see you next time and talk to you soon. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.